because it uses a lot of the terms that people hear but don't necessarily understand, and it teaches it in a really simple, organized way to where by the end of it, people are like, wow, I know everything there is to know about money, and you're a genius. And this is one of the pieces that most of the financial industry tells people is too hard to understand, you'll never get it. Let me just pat you on the head, take care of it for you, you won't understand. Huh? No one tomorrow. So in the area of taxable, this is just you make money, you pay taxes every year. So this is things like your wages, if you're a W-9. Is that right? Yeah, W-9. I haven't had one in so long. No, W-2. Yeah. Yeah, W-2. Or your income, if you're a 1099. Or investment income, CDs, money markets, anything that's just invested and earns interest. You're going to have to pay taxes on it this year. Then we have tax deferred. Oops, that's one F. This is the alphabet and number soup. 401k, IRA, 403b, 457. It's all sorts of strange numbers and letters that nobody really understands anyways. And then tax-free are only two magical options: Roth IRA and tax-free retirement, which is our area of expertise. So to understand, basically our goal is to help our clients get more of their money from taxable into tax deferred, and then get as much of their money into tax-free as possible. So tax deferred is good, tax-free is better because of that unknown future tax situation. So to understand the difference between taxable and tax deferred, we can use an example of an investment. So let's say that somebody that has their money in a taxable account and a tax deferred account are going to grow their money the same way. They're going to start with $1 and it's going to double every year for 20 years. So in the tax deferred account, that $1 is going to double to 2, which doubles to 4, which doubles to 8. And eventually, 20 years later, they're going to have $1,048,000. There's two things to notice here. First of all, we cannot guarantee a 100% return. We're not going to double somebody's money every single year, but it's a great example. The second thing to notice is they're not having to pay tax as it goes along, as it's growing. So this is good, right? $1 million? Awesome. Let's say that it's the exact same investment, except that they have to pay taxes every year. So their $1 doubles to 2, just like it did over here, but they have to pay taxes on their earnings. They earned $1. Let's assume that they're in a 28% tax bracket. So their $1 doubles to 2, you take 28 cents off of 2, and you have $1.72. Make sense? Doubles to $3.44, but you have to tax the earnings, so it drops down to $2.90. I think it's like $5.96. Doubles, tax, double tax, double tax. What do you think you'd have 20 years later if you had to pay tax the whole time? Most people, 90% of people guess somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000. So good guess. The amazing thing is, even though it's a good guess, it's not even close. The actual answer is just over $51,000. Big difference or a little difference between $51,000 and $1,050,000? Yeah, only about $1 million, right? This is something that 90% of Americans don't understand, maybe 95%. And this is a really easy way to teach them how important tax deferral is in a way that they can see it. So the goal is to get our clients into at least a tax deferred situation. Here's the thing. If you're in a tax deferred situation, that means you are deferring your taxes until later. So what happens later? Time to pay taxes. So the question is, what's the tax rate? Let's say it goes up to 50%, which I don't think is unrealistic. How much do you have left over after you pay tax? About $500,000. Now here's the note. Is 500,000 better than 51,000? So this is not a bad thing. For people who have their money locked in IRA jail, it's not necessarily a bad thing. At least it's better than if they were paying taxes all the way along. But what if we could show people how to have all $1 million without paying any taxes? Better? So that's why moving people into a tax-deferred situation and even better into a tax-free situation is so important. So this is a way to teach people visually the difference between a 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, etc. Make sense? And this is just the slide version. So you could do this and explain it with the PowerPoint, or you can do it and explain it on the whiteboard. So then you can talk to people about how they choose. And this is something that you could not necessarily even talk about what it is that we do. If you need to just do a financial literacy presentation, teaching this is awesome. Because then you seed the fact that you help people with tax-free retirement. Maybe you don't even mention what it is, but you can say, this is my area of expertise. It's like a Roth with none of the restrictions. I'd love to talk to you about it sometime. Leave it alone. The curious people are going to be curious, and they're going to ask. So in order to chart your course, you want to envision that ideal future. You want to crunch the numbers, and then you really want to build the right team. You want to have the people supporting you that you really need to get done and accomplish what you want to do. Any questions on that is so much information. I mean, you could teach for 3 days just on that segment. And I have. Right. Thank you for pointing that out. Just keep talking. By the way, okay. Lunchtime, we already did that. Yay. All right. I like to bring in the conversation in step 4 about the fact that our clients should, even though they don't understand everything, it's important that they know that they're the ones that are in charge. And if their advisors or their chosen team is not supportive of who they are, what they want, how they want to grow their money, if they're pro-risk or against risk, they need to realize that if they're not getting the response that they want from the person that they've hired to manage their money, they can fire them. And that it's okay to really want to focus on growing your money the way that you're comfortable. So I talk about how it's important to have the mindset of a captain. Because if you're the captain of the ship, you're responsible for everybody on board. So if you're the head of a family or a couple and taking care of kids or taking care of yourselves, those decisions really have to match up with what you want to accomplish. You have the ultimate say. You're the one that actually makes the decision at the end, and you're the one that's in charge. So it's important that we are teaching that to our clients so that they know if they have another advisor or someone that they're working with that really isn't aligned with them, they know they don't have to be stuck. They realize that they can begin to advocate for themselves and say, you know, this really isn't working for me. I want to mix things up. I want to understand more. What this does is it gives them permission to start working with you. It opens the door for them to say, well, if this actually is more aligned with what I want, then why wouldn't I do this? But because a lot of times they can feel like they don't know enough, they might get scared and want to stay where they are. So this gives, or they feel guilty, exactly. And it's like, it's your money.
I know, right?
Why are you feeling?
I feel guilty. I shouldn't leave them. Do you love them enough to lose half your money?
Yeah, so this is a way to have.
Paying them when you're losing money?
Mm-hmm.
Ask the question, how much do you have to lose before you don't feel guilty anymore?
How much do you have to lose before you don't feel guilty anymore?
Big star by this question.
Mm-hmm.
But you can ask it nicely with a smile.
Okay, yeah.
How much do you have to lose?
How much
Before you don't feel guilty.
what is the financial obligation that you feel that you need to give them to buy your guilt from you?
How much would you like to pay for your guilt? How much would you like
Well, I'm sorry.
What is your financial obligation?
What is your financial obligation in order for you?
How much do you have to lose
How much do you have to lose?
and pay your other
and pay your other financial person
to buy off your guilt.
to buy off your guilt. It's terrible. Terrible and wonderful. Yes. So what you want to do is you want to have the attitude of building a world-class crew. There are a lot of people out there who are trying to do this all by themselves. And it is a lot of work to sail a boat by yourself. A lot. And so it's important to realize that you're the one that's in charge, but it doesn't hurt to have a first mate and a staff that can really help you to run the boat successfully. So you don't want to try and do everything on your own. Build up a support crew that's on your side. Choose your crew wisely and build a team that you can keep for life. And so when I'm talking to my clients about making these decisions, it's about building relationship. And I tell them, the reason that I never sell on the first appointment and my goal is not to twist your arm into buying something from me is I like you and I want to be friends with you for a very long time. I figure that we're going to be working together for the next 40 to 60 years. And if we're going to be working together that long, then we need to be on the same page. We need to be friends. And the reason that I'm talking about this with you is because I like you enough that I want you on the beach with me someday when we're all relaxing and having a good time. And so it's about building relationship. And I tell them that over and over and over again so that they know that I'm more focused on building that ongoing long-term relationship that they maybe don't have with the other person that they're working with. Or if they're not working with anyone, they're feeling alone, that they know that I'm genuinely concerned about what it is that they want to create in their life, and I have tools that can help them to do that. Does that make sense? So these are all conversations that I think it's valuable to bring up with your clients as you're working with them. And you don't necessarily have to, you can seed it in the conversation without actually saying it, just like I was talking about with the pre-framing, just mention it. You know, when I'm working with my clients, I want to make sure that I develop a really good relationship with them. Not necessarily, you don't have to be direct like when I'm working with you, but you can talk around it with talking about your other clients. Another important term for people to redefine is success. Because for so many people, that is tied in their minds to a financial number. So we want to work with them to understand what their true aims and purposes are in their life, besides just the financial number, so that they can feel successful regardless of the amount that's in the bank right now. Does that make sense? So you can talk to them about what is real wealth. This is more of that defining that term. Is it your net worth? Is it having time? Is it time with your family? Is it the percentage of the world that you've seen? That might be my definition of success. Is it how you run your schedule? Is it the impact you're having on others? Is it the amount of money that you've saved? Is it how many vacations you've gone on? What is that real wealth to them? And that's the mindset that you want to work with them to develop. Then you can jump into really getting to help them understand what's the level of risk that they're comfortable with. The great, easy way to talk about this is the teeter-totter, where you talk about risk versus safety and the ability to be right in the middle with the SWAN plan and the gains below the line chart. So all of this is built into my presentation as a way that I'm teaching it, but as I'm teaching it, people are realizing, hey, I can do that. I could have one of those. I got to ask Nicole or Trudy more about that. And then it's building your world-class crew. So who are the people that are on your team? We want a great financial advisor, maybe diversify and have a few different ones. CPA, tax professional, bookkeeper, insurance professional, business attorney, real estate professional, life or business coach, a banker, a credit expert. And then I give them permission to fire their current people. And I tell them that the sharks are not going to eat them just because they make them walk the plank. If they are not supporting you in what you want in your financial life, you can just push them right off the boat. Someone else will love them and pick them up. Because it's the different flavors that people are looking for. And part of what we were talking about with branding is that if you're showing up as you, you're going to be able to attract the people that are like you, right? And that like you. And if you're showing up as somebody different, you're never going to be able to feel authentic. And so you're going to end up working with people that you don't really want to work with. And sometimes, like especially when I was in the construction industry, I can't tell you how many times I wished I could fire a client or that they would fire me, because it just was not a positive working relationship. So we've got to know that not everybody's our client, especially in the world of money. If somebody loves day trading, are they our client? Maybe. It does depend. But if they love day trading and they don't think there's any other option, just let them go. Let them know, hey, there's safe options if you ever want to be able to protect a portion of your earnings. Talk to me. But otherwise, I'm not going to twist your arm, because you could end up barking up. Yeah, you can end up barking up the wrong tree for a very long time. Then there's the O. This is a great time to talk about how to protect what they've already created and protect their household. So there's 3 pieces to a household: the foundation, the walls, and the support structure, and then the roof. And just like that with finances, the first piece is protection. How are you protecting what you've already built? Accumulation and then distribution is the roof, when you get to spend all of that money. So the common financial fears, some of the most common financial fears that people have when they should be creating this protection plan, is 36% are extremely worried about not being able to pay medical bills, 35% Social Security going bust, 31% caring for elderly parents, 22% not having an inheritance to pass on, and 20% fear of the stock market crashing. Those are some pretty serious concerns. And when you present it this way, what it does is it validates the person sitting in the audience who's having those fears, and allows them to say, oh, good, I'm not the only one. Okay, Nicole, who's up there presenting, understands, and she'll be able to talk to me about this, because, yeah, that is one of my fears. I am concerned about that. So it's a way, just like the pre-framing we talked about in the beginning, to validate those fears from the beginning and then allow them to come to you and ask those questions. You can talk about long-term care concerns. This is a great place to introduce the idea of living benefits. Every 26 seconds, someone suffers a coronary event. Every minute, someone dies from one. Every 40 seconds, someone suffers a stroke. Every minute, 18 people are diagnosed with cancer, and 1 person dies of cancer. The average cost of a nursing home is $229 per night, and the average stay is $835 times 835 days times $229 is about $200,000, which does not include medical expenses. These are depressing statistics, so if you're doing this sort of a presentation, you want to figure out how to tie in something positive to it. But it's important, and you could even say that. These are depressing statistics, but if I don't tell you, you'll never know. And these are important to seed into the conversation the fact that living benefits can protect them from all of this. And that's really what that overboard plan is all about. It's protecting yourself from the stuff that you don't even know if it's going to happen. And all of us have stories of people that we know that have been diagnosed with cancer or had a heart attack. You can share the living benefit stories. Or if you know someone personally, it helps to be able to share that as well, because it hits home a little bit more if it's someone that you know. So we talk about combining the different needs into one package, which is the idea that they can bring in disability, life insurance, retirement income, and long-term care, kind of everything that gets packaged into living benefits policy, plus their retirement, all into one package.
How far is Denise's house from here?
15 minutes. Why?
3:45.
Oh, 3:45.
Yeah.
I thought.
4:45.
Okay.
With 3:45.
Huh?
Would you like a ride back to Denise's?
That's fine. Should I go do that? Should I just run to Denise's house, or should we stay here?
No, I think you should do it at Denise's.
That would work.
Okay. Because Diane's not going to, or we could, I'm almost done, so we can wrap up, and then if you could wait till she got here, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Okay.
The chapel guy's down there. That's the other way we could do it.
Oh, the
librarian was downstairs.
right.
We're just gonna cut this out anyway, right?
Yeah.
She said we could just leave and close the door. The janitor's gonna be here shortly after this, or we could wait till 5:30 when she
Okay, then we'll just close the door and we'll leave I'll be done in 5 minutes. And the last piece is R, which is relax and enjoy the ride. I think that a lot of times we spend so much time talking about you got to save money, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to da-da-da-da, and what's the point of the whole thing if you can't enjoy the ride? Yeah. So what does the word relax mean? To make or become less tense or anxious. There are so many fears around money and so many misconceptions and so many questions that what we're here to do is to give people the ability to relax, to get those questions answered, to put together a plan, to put it on automatic so that they don't have to worry about it anymore. We're helping them to move past the concern and fear around money so that they can feel free, they can feel happy, they can enjoy life, they can spend without having to wonder, or stress, or think that they're going to run out of money. That's really what we're doing. So telling people that the ultimate result of what we do is that peace of mind, that ability to relax, that's what we do. So it's important to talk to them about that so that they know that by putting in the time and the effort to do all of this, what is the ultimate goal? That they can relax, kick back, enjoy, not have to worry about it anymore, and to be free, to meet those goals, to see the world, to spend time with their grandkids, whatever it is that they've decided is important for them. Does that make sense? So that's it, folks. The condensed, that was 2 days in one afternoon, plus behind the curtain conversation about